Okay. Let me share my screen here.
What are you gonna tell me? Just gonna tell me.
This is today's content. So we're gonna learn some basics of JavaScript, and the game that we're going to build, the first game that we're going to build is called the tennis game. You know how tennis play, right?
Yeah.
You got two players, and you hit the ball over to the other side, and the other side hits it over. What was that?
Last lesson,
Uh-huh.
remember you touched like the body and stuff?
Uh-huh.
After that, I kind of kept editing to it. So
Okay.
I tried to delete it.
That's fine. It's okay. We can always restart, right? And also, before we do that, we're going to learn a little bit about GitHub. Okay, GitHub, you have heard the name, right? It's a service. It's an online service for source code control. Source code meaning that anything you write into text or other things that you need for your program, right? What is obvious? That's fine. If you want to watch, that's fine. It's up to you. Okay, but don't talk to anybody else about it. This is my class. Is that okay? Right. So GitHub is an online source code control service. It's a service that actually somebody built a number of years ago, and now Microsoft has purchased or bought the company. Hey, good. We just got started. So before we get into actual coding, we want to do a little bit of GitHub. Okay. All right. So GitHub is this thing, right? GitHub.com. Okay, this is what GitHub looks like when you go to GitHub and you don't have an account and you're just there, right, as a visitor. So I want you guys all to go there now. Okay. Is your computer connected to the network?
Oh, mine's not connected. I don't know if it's connected or not.
Well, maybe you can check.
How am I supposed to check?
I have no idea.
Look on the screen. How am I supposed to check?
Can you stop talking about that? Thank you.
Wait, I think
Log on. Okay. So this is where you go, right? Just type github.com. Let me github.com. Close this thing. Okay, this is the website that you go to. It's called GitHub, right? And the URL is just github.com. .com. GitHub is
I've heard of it.
GitHub is
Which,
this, right? This is GitHub. And just add to .com to it, right? And so you're here, and now you got to sign up. Can someone join the Zoom meeting? I want to. Okay, can one of you guys join the meeting? All right.
What's the
The passcode is this 298-279. ID is 857-493-1813. And passcode is just a little bigger. GitHub.com. You're not listening?
It doesn't work.
Huh? What doesn't work?
I typed. Wow.
Want to check it again?
What's the
169, how I write.
Right there, right there. Yeah. The computer is not connected.
Oh, working. Oh my God.
So
I mean, like, seriously, which one is it? What? I'm the Philippines. Wait, are you supposed to put says? That's just reading password. I hate. Block your website, not on. Yeah,
Let me go get the.
Don't. It's not working. No, what kind of code am I supposed to? Oh, JavaScript. JavaScript. Oh, actually. Sure.
All right, it's randomly generated.
I'm in.
So,
Okay.
guess a lot.
C, D, E, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O. I know.
Word wants to sponsor. You got yeah.
So if anybody needs the password to the website, yeah. Okay. Okay, let me see, mute, please. All right, thank you. Let me see, I want to allow everybody to share screen.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
so somebody, Ethan, can you share your screen?
I can't. You have to allow.
And
Yeah, no, like you have to stop share first.
oh, I have to stop here. Right.
Which one? The GitHub?
Huh?
The GitHub?
Yes.
Ooh.
Right. So now Ethan is on GitHub, right? Now we want to sign up. Hit sign up. Sign up, not sign in.
Wait, what's it called? Then?
GitHub.com.
Did I just check with my mom's email?
You should. Yeah, I got it.
Email, but it says it's in real life.
You should use your own. Huh?
Oh, seriously.
Scroll the screen all the way up.
I don't have one.
You have one?
I don't have it. I do. Chromebook. But that's for school.
That should be okay. What Gmail is that? Those Gmail accounts that we're showing up here?
That's my mom's account.
Okay. Well, if you want to use your mom's email, that's fine. But sometimes you need to get to.
Should I just use my
Oh my God, do I actually need to do that?
Okay, so first you put in your email and then you type a password.
My dad wants email.
Make sure it's at least 15 characters.
Yes.
I don't even know.
Oh, all right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Bro, that actually works.
Oh,
No, I'm not doing that.
What I do with passwords, with long passwords, initially, especially,
I just say.
I remember. Listen to me for a second. What I do is I remember a poem, right? I remember something, a poem or a phrase, a Bible, whatever, if you are into that, whatever, right? A favorite book of yours, a paragraph, and then pick the first letters of each word, right? And that makes a good password, and it's easier to remember.
How is my?
What if you don't
Right.
know?
They show password.
你看，怎么样是吧？你跟我说的一样，看一下。哦，够了，都进去这个。What? What? My dad doesn't use email. What? My dad
There's
doesn't use
something
email.
wrong with your dad.
Does somebody else have to set for you?
Read that password.
Is your mom?
Hey, stop talking. Mama.
Can you ask her to take your computer with you? You don't have an email?
I do, but my dad doesn't have one, and I don't remember.
Maybe you
You
should.
don't remember?
And I don't know my dad.
Okay. Then, well, I don't know what to do. What we will do is here, you get in. So this is what you need, right?
This is 15 characters.
You need to have an email address, and then you just create a password.
I don't.
You probably want to hide the password.
Yeah, I'm showing it. I'm proud.
You want to hide your password now, or you want to show everybody your password?
my password.
I don't want to see you.
And also, now you can hit continue.
I have one. Wait, I don't know.
No one is gonna remember, okay?
What? What now?
Hit continue.
What his password?
It
sounds like what? What now?
Okay.
Or
Now you create a username for yourself. A username, just, something you make up. Yeah.
the best. The best. I knew it. No.
Okay, somebody's already using that name. So
Not available.
it's when it says it's not available, it means somebody's already got that name, right? You can use hyphen, you can use underscore.
Hey guys, you want to see my epic password?
Hello, Ethan?
Yeah.
Cannot do that. It says down here, right? Ethan is not available. You cannot use equal sign in there, right? When you're typing, it tells you what's wrong. If there's,
Hey guys, look at
it doesn't work.
two.
Can we finish this?
Can
we finish this now?
All right, you want to go see my password?
No.
I'm not talking to you, so maybe mind your own business.
You stop talking for a minute. You always still talk to someone. Okay. Ethan iOS, that's fine. Looks like, right? You can just say yes or no. You don't need to, right? So you could just say no.
Please solve this puzzle to verify that you are human. Start puzzle line on. Take the spiral galaxy.
Okay.
How am I supposed to know what the spiral galaxy is? Oh, the spiral galaxy, I see it.
There's spiral, right?
Oh.
You know what a spiral is, sir?
Because that's an easy quiz.
Uh,
Now click create account.
Yeah. So that's basically the steps you have to go through to create your account, right? I would really like everyone to have an account on there because, so did you follow? You guys follow?
I just don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess
Dude.
if you don't have an email address, or do you have an email address?
Can I stop here so that nobody sees my password?
In that case, I guess we can't do anything about that. The reason that I want to, to introduce this to you guys is that when we, for example, when we work as professional software developer, right, writing code for work, right, then this is something that, other.
I think that's very
Hello?
good.
What's your name? Albert. Okay. Thank you, Albert. When you guys grow up, right? If you want to become a professional coder, a software engineer, right? Then these are the things that you do, right? That, like this one, this is a pretty big software project, and they are actually building it up into a business, right? So this is what people like you guys, when you grow up, would do, right? And this is on GitHub, right? So when I am on GitHub, for example, this is my stuff, right? This is the stuff that I have put on GitHub. Come on, let me make this a little bigger.
All right. I need to be Albert is not very smart. It's very true.
So, for example, I can put my code on here, right? And when what happens when I do this is that then whenever I make some change to my code, because you usually you have a lot of things to do, right? When you make some changes to something, 3 weeks later, 5 months later, or 5 years later, you will forget, right? You don't remember what you did 5 years ago. But computers are good at remembering things, right? Once it's written into the memory of computers, they'll just stay there, right? Especially these days when we have these services in the cloud, right? Some people are maintaining those computers for storing our code, right? So all these things will be there for us 3 months later, 5 years later, right? And you would remember what kind of changes you made, right? So for example, what I can show you here is this is the code for okay, give me 1 minute. Okay, so this is the code. Right. So this is the code for this game, right? So I don't remember what I did exactly, like when I did what, right? But I can go into the code in here, for example. Let me create a new window here. Again, making it bigger to sorry, this might be a little boring, right? But this is the code that is in that editor that I showed you earlier, right? I can say, I can see what I did exactly on this game 001, right? So it will show me, see all those previous commits, right? Committing means when I made some changes and I think it's working and I put it into this Git thing, right? So this is what I'm trying to introduce this to you guys, right? So what you can do is you can keep your code on here on GitHub, and you know, between all the works that you do in this class, right, you will be able to show it to your parents, your you know, classmates, your teacher, basically to show them what you have actually done, right? So if you don't have an email, like things that some like network is not working for you right now, yeah. Are you already in? Okay. What you can do now is you can go create a repository. Right? You want to show your screen again, Ethan?
Alright.
Just software like a pro.
Yeah. So now you're in. Go to now you're in your profile, right? You can do more things with this later, but click here for now. Right? Go to your repositories. Right? So right now you don't have any. Right? You don't have anything. But see, here is a new button. You can create a new repository. Okay, creating a new repository means to create a new project. What do you need?
Didn't you have like a paper loss class?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's for one probably. Yeah. Here. Don't close it. Share your screen, okay? So that everybody can see what we want to do here.
Wait, my screen sideways? Wait, what?
Okay, so now we're in here, right? And Ethan doesn't have any repository yet, right? But you can create one, create new. Right? Now what do you want to call it? We can call it game 1. How about that? Okay, then this is fine, right? And then, well, see what it will do is you can't put a space in here, right? So what it do is it will turn that space into a dash. Yeah, you can do that, and then put a description here. You can just say JavaScript game programming class code, right? JavaScript, Java script. It's all one word. Java, not WA. Not WA. Right. JavaScript, game programming. I think you still typed something wrong here. Java. Maybe it should be a capital S. That's what. Yep. That works better. Yeah, we can make it public. You can keep it private if you don't want anybody else to see it. Public would allow anyone to see it, right? And now just scroll up. Scroll up.
I don't think I can scroll up.
Click here.
Oh, scroll down.
Oh. Page scroll up, yeah. So now you can add a README file. Okay, and then say create repository. Oh, hold on. What I wanted to show you is the there's a earlier there's a license. If you click here again, go back to repositories. Go back here to repositories. Yeah, okay. So if you click on new again. Okay, what I want to show you is scroll the page up. Okay, here is a license, right? License, usually it means how you want other people to use your code. Okay, So usually a lot of these things, you click the pull down click the arrow. Yeah. So you can see that these are, there's a bunch of things listed here. And these are so-called open source licensees. So that means these things.
This what happens in Vienna.
So just want to show you these. Okay. So these means that you want to let other people use your code if you open source it. But there are some conditions about using your code. Okay. Now let's cancel from here. So just go back to up there. Go to repositories. Okay, now you have created one, right? Click the name. Okay, so what we have here is an empty project, right? A new project that just have this README file that they created for you. What you can do now is click the code. Hey, Ethan. Click code, and then copy this URL. Copy. Okay. Now what you do is, that you mute. Okay, thanks. Where's that sheet? Go ahead. So now, Ethan, can you go back? Who's not muted?
Over. No, him.
Hey.
Okay, hold on.
I also copied my URL.
Happy?
Who's Andy? Happy, not Andy. No,
Okay.
I said who's Andy? Yeah.
So you copied the URL, right?
Yeah.
And now what you do is open up code, VS Code. Open up Visual Studio Code.
Here.
Okay.
I have to stop here to continue my screen share.
No, you continue to share. I want you to open up.
I did. That's
Code.
why I have to stop share. Because it
Oh.
stayed on that one.
Okay. You can just share the screen, not the program. Stop share and then share again. Share again. Share screen and then share the screen. The screen. The screen. Yeah.
All right, there we go.
All right.
Now I don't look
Okay, so now what you can do is you can close this one. Click file.
How about 6,000?
Click file. And close. Editor. Wait. Yeah, you can save it.
I did. I don't know why it's not reacting.
Okay. Then close. New file again.
Yeah, this one's my mom. All right, there you go.
It's still there. Well, anyway, click file.
Wait, now you're going with that.
Let's see. Oh,
Close editor or close folder?
Editor is file. Editor. Well,
Where did you go? Can you click here?
No.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, we have to download Git. Okay. So let's do that.
Did I?
Okay. So basically, what it will do is you will have to download the Git program itself for Visual Studio Code to use it.
It is downloading right now.
Okay, I need to add that to our class material.
Oh.
Okay, click the arrow, and then show in folder. And just double click on it. Double click with this. Okay, it will have to install that. Click yes.
Changes. I'm not sure because like my mom had some
Yep,
work
next.
week on this.
Next. They're just finish or something. Yes.
Just keep.
Install. Okay. Yeah, until you get to install, you install it.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
File.
What now?
Close this. Folder. Look at this thing.
Oh, that's pretty good. Excuse me, what now? What now?
Okay, have you created a GitHub account?
No, like I did kind of get anything.
Yeah, this is fine. You can close this window. Okay, we go back to VS Code. Yeah. Okay. Click this again. This is source control, right? Click this again. Click on it again. Okay, you have to reload it. Yeah, hold on. Just one more thing. When you see this, right? See the little blue one on here? It says it means that there's something here. Right? It's usually an update. You can do that, yeah. Click to restart to update. It'll do a quick reload of Visual Studio Code. When it starts up, it's a new version. Okay, and now you can also here. You close this. You'll file close folder or something. I think. You scroll. Yeah. Close folder. Okay, and you can do this. Clone Git repository. This is what I want to show you, right? And then see repository URL, right? That's what you put in here. So this is how you build a connection between your project on your computer and that repository on GitHub. The URL. No, don't copy that. You copy the stuff from, where's that window on GitHub? Yeah, there. This is your GitHub, this is your repository URL, right? Copy and then paste it over there.
I don't have that search bar thing. Now what?
You don't have search what?
The search bar thing.
Search bar thing. Okay. Just pick a folder. Pick a folder. You can yeah, you can just put it here. You can just click here. So it's the repository location. Open. Okay, see, this is your README file from your GitHub repository, right? So this is now synced up with your, see, your repository is called tennis game. So now you have a folder on your computer called tennis game, right? With this one file in there.
Which one do I choose?
Hmm?
Which one do I choose?
Say that
Which
again.
one do I choose?
Oh, yes. That means you trust the author of this code,
Which is you.
right? Which is you. So you trust yourself, right? Sorry that you guys, if you need to, again, if you haven't done anything yet, right? I'm going to show you this process again. Can you stop sharing? Thank you. And now I will start sharing. And what you will do is this, right? So what you will do is this: sign up first, right? When you sign up, when you click here, sign up, you will need to have a, the network is super slow. You will need to have an email address, right? I'm just repeating what we did earlier, right? So if you can do it here right now, you want to go home and do this and ask your parents for permission, obviously, right? So that you can create an account on there and then create a project, right? Create a project and then once you have a project, like I do here, right? This is my repositories, right? When I'm here, I have this list of the projects that I have created on there, right? So if I say, when I create a new project, it will be something like, it won't have all these files, right? It won't have all these files, but it will have this code button, right? This code button is where you get your URL to your repository. I don't know what we can do about that.
I mean, what's the password? I will have to enter the password.
I gave it to you. You have to remember it somehow, right? Don't, right? It's right here. It's right here on this phone here. It's right here. Right? So once you are here, you copy the URL and then you go to Visual Studio Code, right? what I can do here, I can show you is when I open up this new thing, when I open up when I open this for the first time, right? Thank you. It has this clone Git repository link here, right? So I click this, right? I click this clone. Okay, and then I post that URL here. Okay, I post that for you guys. That URL is going to be HTTPS only, right? This thing, because you use a password. You copy it, right? You copy it and then you paste it here. All right? You paste it here. And then when you click the clone button, it will ask you where you want to put this. Right? You can just, you can just click OK, and it will use your project name. In my case, it's JS-games, right, as the folder name, and create that folder for me and put all my code in there. Okay, that's the whole process. And when you go home, you can try a few times, and I will have this video also. I'll post this on YouTube. So I mean, if you have any problem, question, you can revisit this. Okay. So we'll take a break here.
Yeah, what is some just confusing. How many books have you finished of Percy Jackson? Or what now? Oh, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to her. I don't know. I have no idea. She's reading her book right now. Is she reading?
Okay, recording restarted, right? Okay, here is, I'm going to close this one. Oh, come on.
Wait, has break ended
I
or what?
closed everything. Yes. Sorry, I got to reopen the.
Password of the Wi-Fi. It's why do
Okay, so this is the game, and what it looks like. I'm going to show you what it's going to look like when we open it up. Sorry. Okay, so I'm going to open up this game. Okay, so this is the game, right? So when the ball hits the wall and goes outside of the court, then the other side wins the point, right? And what I can do is I can control this. Oh, game over. So I can control this, right, to move it up and down. To
Smart. Smart.
So this is it, right? It's a simple game, and we're gonna do this, right? So think about this. Think about this. What do we need? to create this game.
Oh, when you touch ball, it bounces.
100%.
Also, when it touches the screen, it bounces.
Yes. We need to be able to draw the whole thing, right? We need to be able to draw the chord, draw the ball, and draw this pad on this side, right? Well, on both sides, right? Now we need to write these words on here, and we need to be able to know where the cursor is, right? Where my mouse is, right? So when I move my mouse, I move that pad over. I move this pad on this side accordingly, right? So, this is actually a simple game, but still we have a lot of things to do in here, right? And see, all these things have to happen at the same time, right? Because when the ball is moving and I'm moving the cursor, they have to all work at the same time, right? So before we create a game, we have to think these things through, right? Let's say if you're not creating this kind of game, what other games do you have in mind? Yeah. Okay. Super Mario is a game. I don't know if we can get some video here.
Making my way downtown. See, what is that? Making my way downtown. My wife took my kids. What? Yeah.
Right. So what I'm gonna ask you guys is.
Too much round. Making my way downtown. My wife took my kids.
Okay.
Like,
So when this game plays, right, you have to be able to draw this background, okay? So you have to be able to draw this background, right? And then you have to be able to move it, right?
what? You're not doing it.
Hold on, we haven't gone through everything yet, right? Yeah, you want to say something? Okay. So, and like the clouds and these scoreboard and everything, and you have to be able to control the Mario figure to jump up and down, right? So you have to be able to do all these things at the same time. And, yeah, I believe you. You can.
A jump button, backward, forward.
Yeah, yeah.
That's all.
What I'm asking you guys to think through is before you write code, before you do anything, right? You have to think about these, right? You have to think about what you need in this game and what you need to do. So programming is similar, right? Whatever your program needs to do before you write the code, that's the most important thing, right? And that in the professional world is called the algorithm. Heard the word before? Right? The algorithm. What is the algorithm? Right? What is the algorithm to do this or to do that? Right? So, Albert, can you tell me, in designing a game like this, what else do you need? think about, think about this game, right? You have, what's your name, please? Win. Okay. If I pronounce your name wrong, just let me know.
What happened when you said the time, the time.
Right. And also, like, sometimes you have rewards, right? Like if Mario can jump and catch something and you get some number of points, stuff like that, right? Am I right? So I mean, I haven't played this game really that much.
Yeah.
But I'm imagining that these are the things that you want to do, right? In a game. And then there are also those kind of space shooter games. Have you played any of those? Like you have a big gun underneath here, right? Like the gun here, and then you just shoot whatever like asteroids or aliens or whatever that's attacking you, right? So those are the things. Like if you are designing a game like that, you have to think about all of those asteroids, aliens, and flying into in your direction, right? Or in any other directions, right? And then when it hits you, you lose part of your life, or you just go dead. You're just completely dead or something, right? Game over. And so those are the things you have to consider before you write a game. Okay. So what I'm saying, the reason that I'm saying all that is that when we design a game, let me close that.
Classic. Wow, that's not
Okay.
fun.
Like a game like this is really simple. Sure. Yeah, if you need to go to the bathroom, just raise your hand and say, I need to go to the bathroom, and you can go. So a game like this is rather simple, right? Consider all other kinds of games. But even in a simple game like this, we still have to think it through, right? And that's the most important thing before you actually write code. Okay. And so let's consider this. The first thing we will have to do is draw the chord, right? And so how do we do that, right? And because in this class, I mean, in different environments, you have different ways of doing this, okay? But right. I'm sorry about that. We'll have to deal with that at a different time. Okay. Let me see if you can join this one. You can try to use this one. Okay. This is a phone that has a hotspot on it. The Wi-Fi password is this, and the name is GV something.
Give me something.
GV some number. Okay.
Give me some number.
So how do we draw this thing, right? And
What number? Is it like just like
no, you will see it when you pull
We'll
up
see it.
something. When you pull up this to connect
We'll see it.
the network.
We'll see it.
See this? You see it, right? And then you click that, you connect to it, and then you put the password in there, right? So in this environment, in this class, right, we are limited to deal with JavaScript and the browser. Okay, whatever browser you use doesn't matter, but because most of the modern browsers, they support a certain standard set of things, right? Like HTML. Okay, HTML is the standard for web pages, for writing web pages, and CSS, which is actually stands for cascading style sheets. It's it's kind of complicated, right? But what it does is CSS changes things on the screen, right? Like why this text is yellow, or why this chord is black, right? And why that ball is green. That is all controlled by CSS. CSS. Okay, CSS means style sheets, right? Cascading means that you can have a bunch of style sheets, and they'll stack up to each other, and whatever in the end you see that says this object needs to be red or green or blue, that's the color you get. Okay, you can have a number of places that, well, then I don't know. If your computer just doesn't connect, I have, what is it connecting?
The one that the one is low. Oh. Wait, there's a tiny. Oh, there's a one. Sure.
Okay. So these are the three things we're dealing with, right? JavaScript, we write the program, right? And that's what gives us all the movements and stuff, right? And counting numbers and writing text and then all that. The other stuff that we're dealing with would be HTML. We don't need a lot of HTML in this, right? Because we're not, doing a whole lot, but we need a few things. So, when you have there's one over here. You can unwrap all that. Then I can't help. Sorry. So we'll have to deal with that later, right? So, like, this is a very, very simple HTML file, right? And if I open that up in the I have done this in several stages, right? I want you guys to try this, right? You don't have to type all the text in here, but the important thing in the HTML that we need in this class are these set of things. Let me see. HTML prime. Okay, these are the things that we need, right? Like, first, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is a language, but the language works, right, in a different way than programming languages. And so this language is used to write documents, right? And these documents are for browsers to display, right? So, and documents will be written in this way, okay, with HTML bracketing the entire document.
Yeah, there we go. Right now it's charging, but if you move it, well, I don't know. Yeah. So what do I do now?
Well, you can go do all that stuff at home, but right now, what we do is we want to open up the Visual Studio Code.
That's the last one.
Visual Studio Code, right? Visual Studio Code, and if for Ethan, you have what we do is we have something open, right? We have a project. We go here and we add a file, right? Or if you guys last time you have done a new file, you can continue to use that, right? So what I want you to do is to type in this, right? If I want to just get it, this is what we did last time, right? Well, what do you have in there? Okay. You can load that up in a browser and see what effect that you. Huh? So what we can do here is in this file, right? We can say, like, I can add a level 1 title to it, a level 1 header to it, right? This is a subject line. Let's say, for example, if I do that, if I save this file, right? And then I go to a browser, and I load up this file instead, right? See what I did there, right? This is a subject line. The subject line, H1 level usually is bigger, bigger font and all that stuff, right? And I can do bold, right? And this line is bold. Means, yes, you can see here, right? This is what it says. This line is bold. It's thicker, is black, right? It's bold. And also you can do stuff like slanted. Is it right? Fixed, slanted. Okay, so what do I need to do is change that to I, right? And I can do things like P, right? P is what? A paragraph, right? In here, it is actually, this is a paragraph. This is a new paragraph, right? And also I can put styles in here, right? Style equals, like, what I can do is font size 400, not 4,000, 800, let's say, right? So all these, this is a style sheet, right? And those are text attributes. HTML sometimes is not so good about, separating the styles with the content, but that changed later. Right now, if I go back to the browser, for example, if I reload this, oh gosh. See, the 800 is really big, right? So you can see that this is what that 800 did, right? This is a huge paragraph. And so you can see that's how I control these things, right? And I can give it a color, say I can make this thing color red. Right? And this is how, you know, in this case, the Visual Studio Code helps me, right? In when I say I'll make this 80 instead of 800. So this red, right? It actually shows me a red color right next to it, right? And shows me how that is. And if I change that to blue, right, it automatically changes the color to blue for me. This is how the editor, the Visual Studio Code helps. Oh, in here, you just open up a new tab, right? And then you hit Control O. And then it'll let you select a file to show, right? And I can pick any file to, right? So, and this is how HTML works and how CSS works, all right? And what we will do is I will not be able to teach everything, right, in this class, because this is a short class. We only have 14 sessions altogether. And so I can only introduce this much to you guys in class. But what I want you to, to learn about this is to learn the method, right? And when you go home, if you want to create a website, for example, right, you want to create these effects, you can go online to search, right? You can, as long as you know, this is called HTML, and the stuff that controls the color and all that stuff, you can just go say HTML font size, for example, right? And then you can learn how to control the font size, and you can say text color, and then you can find out how you can change the color of the text, right? So that's the basic. That's the very, very basic part of no, HTML.
Oh,
right? This is HTML, and now JavaScript. Now let's look at JavaScript. And in here, in the first one, I actually have a little bit of JavaScript, right? So what does this do? This tag, right? We call these tags. If we go to this game number 2 file, right? If I put this tag in here, it doesn't do me anything, right? Right now, I'm just saying that potentially there could be script here, right? But what does it do? It doesn't do anything, right? If I go back to that here and reload this page, you'll see that there's no change, right? There's no change. It's going to be no change here. But even if I say add this line to it, this thing, right? It says console log, right? Let's see what that does. Console log. And if I go back here, if I reload this window, still there's no change, right? But remember last time we talked about this development tool, right? Developer tool. So if I'm in this window and I hit F12, where is that on my? Oh, no, not that. I don't want to see that. Okay. When I hit this, now you can actually see that hello world text. Right? Where did that come from? That came from, let me do this. That came from this line of JavaScript, right? Because it says console log. It basically logs, it basically log meaning write that line of text out. Out where? To the console, right? And if we go look at this, the screen here, see it says console, right? So this part of the window is supposed to show you what is on the console, right? That's where that came from, right? So I had this JavaScript, this line of JavaScript actually worked, right? And so what do we do next to create that board, that court, right? So So this is the next thing we want to do, right? We create a game canvas, right? And how do we do that? And we can see it here in this file, right? And this is what we do. Create a canvas, right? If I create a canvas in here, in this here, right? And save it, and let's see what happens. Let me see. Let's put this canvas between that big line of blue text, right? Let's save it. And okay, you can see that it created a big gap here, right? It created a gap here, but there's nothing. It doesn't seem to, there doesn't seem to be anything here. And if we take the, go into the dev tool, there's an inspect tool up there, right? This inspect. Looks like my computer's getting really slow again for whatever reason. Okay, so actually you can see it here, right? If I park my cursor on this line of code in here, it shows me where that is. Right? This is an 800 by 600 pixel, right? The width is 800 and the height is 600. Right? So we have created a canvas here, but we haven't drawn anything on it, so we can't really see it. That's why, right? Hmm? Yeah, you can follow along, and you can just follow along in. You can name it anything. I named it game 2 or test.html, right?
For tennis game 101.
Yeah. You can call it test something, right? So that's what we created, a canvas, right? And this is what we have so far, right? All the text and stuff are just there to show,
No,
the space doesn't matter, right? The white space are all ignored. The white spaces, like between these tags, right, are all just ignored. Hmm? Oh, you can just hit tab, right? Hit the tab key. There's a tab key on your keyboard. So we created this canvas, right? What I can do also is there are these things I can show you to create a horizontal line, right? To mark where that should be. This is a horizontal line, right? If I do that, everything else goes out, right? But the subject is still there. You can change that to, let's say, tennis game, let's say, right? And so, come on. Or I can hit Control R to reload the page. Okay, now it says tennis game, and then we got 2 lines drawn here to show you what the canvas, where the canvas is, right? So this basically gives us a way. Now we got something to draw on, right? Now, how do we draw on this part, right? That is more JavaScript, right? So now, let's look at this, right? This whole thing is JavaScript, right? So we got the canvas here, right? And now, what we want to do is let's do this. Okay. No, if you are confused, ask your question. Okay, so this is what we have right now, right? This is what we have, right? This is what we have, and this is how we will. Okay, so close this side. Okay, so that is the file, right? That is the HTML file, and this is how that shows up on our screen, in the browser screen, right? You guys got this part?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I thought you were supposed to do this one.
Yeah, this is the file, right? And this is the effect. This is how it shows up. And next, we're going to do more with JavaScript. Right?
Wait, are those words? Somehow the words turn red.
What turn around?
The word.
That's because you got, it's not quite right, right? See this? This is what I have. It's not what you have, right? And so if you're using a paragraph, for example, you can do that here. Let's say, let me do a paragraph like you did, right? You use the P tag, right? So in HTML, a paragraph has a beginning and an end, right? So the beginning is P, is the P tag, right? Bracket, bracket, P. And the end of the paragraph is the /P tag. It's just like all the other tags, right? The whole document, for example, is HTML, and at the end is /HTML, right? And the body starts with body, then ends with /body, right? A full HTML document should be something like this. Head, right? So it has a head part.
Like, you know, what you cut down the one, it just automatically copies it.
Okay.
Like, it does, for example, if I just go on the word, copies it.
Okay, that works. Right. But like I said, a good an HTML, a well-formatted, right? A well-formatted HTML document should look like this. Start with HTML, end with /HTML. Right? You understand that part?
So the starting one always has to be like.
Right. So you start with HTML, end with /HTML, right? And then the head part, start with head, end with /head. Right? All this space doesn't matter, but I'm trying to make it look, not too hard to read.
I don't know if I just showed up.
Hello world. Hello
I
world.
don't know what happened. I just clicked on it.
What did you click? You can always hit Control Z. Yeah, and Command Y. I haven't really worked with. Where's that? Oh, HTML sample. Okay, so that comes from some program, some of the Visual Studio Code modules that provide you samples. Right, samples meaning that it's just a sample, right, to show you how things should be written, but they may or may not work. That's the thing. You gotta make changes so that so that they would work, right? So if I save this, I'm still getting the same. I should still be getting the same thing here, right? So the head doesn't show up anywhere. the head, because right now the head is empty, so obviously it won't do anything. And also in our game, we don't need part of the head, so we're just going to show how this body should be, right, in this HTML game file. So now this basically gives us a framework to write this game, right? We have a canvas drawn on the screen here, right? And what we need to do now is to get more code, right? We want to give it a little bit of color so that, we can see where that canvas is or how big it is, right? Without, having to go to the dev tool, the developer tool, right? So this is what we do, right? We find the canvas in the script, in the JavaScript part, right? Now, so this is what we have, right? We got two variables. Variables meaning a storage for something, right? So now in this JavaScript, let's create two variables, and now we call this function. This document is actually a global variable in JavaScript. Okay, the document basically means this document, right? This whole thing. And we're calling the function called getElement by ID. And the ID is game canvas. See that? Pay attention, right? Pay attention to the blackboard up here, to the TV screen here. And so we're basically finding the game canvas, right? The game canvas, you can see that I'm using this as the ID. Right? You can see that the ID is right here, right? So by doing this, I'm finding this canvas. I'm grabbing this canvas, right? And then to actually draw something, we need to get the canvas context. Okay, these are the canvas interface, right? These have to be just written that way. So now we set the fill style to black. You can see right now, right? The canvas is right here. It's actually transparent. It doesn't, there's no color on it, right? The white color is from the background. Sorry?
Oh, I can't see.
Yeah, there.
Okay, sorry, okay. So, and then we fill the rectangle, right? The rectangle is the whole canvas width and height, right? And the canvas also, so now if I save this file, okay, I'm going over here to reload the screen. This part will become black, right? So that's the canvas. That's the canvas, right? And you can see that if I change the style to dark gray, for example, if we can do that. I go over here and I reload. It's dark right now, right? See, you can see now this couple of lines of code take an effect, right? See how it works. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Cool. And what else did we do in this code? And we can also try to draw a couple of blocks on here, right? For example, this white square, and draw that.
It really is confusing.
Is it?
No, I think it's fun.
Okay. Now you can see what these two lines do, right? It basically sets the fill style to white, and then it sets that square to white, turns that part of the square to white, right? See that? Right? So this is X, Y, right? X, Y, actually the 0 point, the null point starts here at this part of the canvas. Okay, this upper left corner. This is 0, 0. Right, so 225 is from here to here is 225. Wait.
It's pretty hard, I guess.
And here to here is 210. We can just change that number and see if it changes. Let's say change that to 100, for example. Right, let's see which part changes. Right, so it moved up, right? So now this part is 100. Right. This is what I'm showing here is how you draw stuff on screen, right? Right now we're only drawing squares, and rectangle squares and things like that. Right? A rect, fill rect, right? This function says fill a rectangle with the parameters that are given, right? With the style that's previously set, right? The fill style. Okay, so this is how Canvas works. It works, right? This kind of thing works. But if you're seriously programming some stuff, right now in this game, we're just going to use these functions, right? Because what we're only going to draw like squares, rectangles, and the circle, the ball, right? That's the only shapes we're going to draw. So we don't need a whole lot of support, right? With these functions, it works fine enough, right? So what do we have here? The next one is actually drawing another square, right? At a different spot. Yeah.
I lost the white thingy.
What white?
The white thingy.
Like the other website that shows your progress.
Like
Like that showed what
Here.
you're doing.
Here.
But they
Right.
said you're supposed to add it.
Oh, finally, I typed it in. That, I typed in the code.
All of it. And then click Control
Yeah,
O.
hold on. Oh, gee.
And then I can't find
Is that
one
gonna
thing.
finish?
Right. So it draw a little So what this one does is actually show us to draw a red rectangle, right, in the middle of the court.
Wait. What do you do again? Like after you click Control O? I accidentally clicked.
Here you add a new tab.
I
Right.
did.
And then you hit Control O, and then you pick the file that you want to show.
Okay.
Right? Like here, if I hit Control O, right now it shows me the file on my hard drive, right? And then I pick one to show. Right? So
I don't know which one I put it. I don't know which one I put it in.
I'll just pick one that go back to the Visual Studio Code window and see what the file name is.
Okay. So click file. What do you do after you click on file?
You don't need to click the file, you click this thing here. The first one actually.
This one.
This icon.
And then read new.md.
Then you can just find out which file it is, right? This,
Okay.
like my file is game002.html. Sorry. Right, so this shows you how, using these two lines, we draw this picture right on the screen. We got 4 minutes to go. I'm going to stop here. See if you have any questions. Sorry.
Why is mine turning blue?
Did you save it?
I give up.
Save all. Save all. Yeah. Okay, so it didn't work quite as expected. There's got to be an error, right? So now what you do is you hit F12 in the browser. And there's a warning, go to console. Where's the console?
Console's right here.
It should console.
Okay, this should do something.
I literally got everything here.
There should be an error output. Okay, let me see.
I don't see any.
Wait a minute.
Maybe my eyesight got the best of me and
What, you're done the whole thing already as well? Yeah, see?
Okay, we'll browse it.
Okay. Also just gonna, I'm also like. Wait,
The other thing is
also putting in
to
to see what I've done so far.
you in here.
Nothing? Alright.
Maybe I'm more close to you.
Just look at this. So, and yours is not dark gray actually, so.
Oh, I was working on this. Why?
Okay, I am done, but I don't think I'm getting this. A bit, it's not a lot. I don't care to do them.
Oh, here, fill style is capital S.
Yeah, that's what I did.
So I'm done.
I think you got lowercase there.
Oh,
You need to, yeah, that actually is not an error. That's bad.
But I.
Now if you save it and go inwards to reload, oh, that doesn't matter. That's just that's just for completeness. And, yeah.
Thank you.
Then you're gonna close the head, slash head. And you save that.
你看，你也可以从这儿看。
Yeah, let's go.
But now
Right.
you can pull it from here.
Yep, that's good. Actually, now I want you to share your screen, Ethan. Let me see. Let me
Which one did I
stop sharing.
share?
Just share screen again.
Okay.
All right. Now, give me the code, VS Code. Yeah. Now click this source control. Oh, you don't have anything. Oh, you didn't save anything yet. And also you've got this whole thing in README. That's not where it's supposed to be, right? You're supposed to create a new file. Click this. Or, click this. So if you come over, click on this name.
Wait, teacher?
You click file.
Teacher.
Yeah, give me a second. Save all. And now you can see that there's an M next to the file name. That's what it tells you, that this file has been modified. Right? It has been changed. Yeah. Yeah. So you have to be aware of the cases, right? In JavaScript, I should emphasize that everything except for the notice text, right? Everything else are case sensitive, meaning that if you got the case wrong, it won't work. All right. So that's all for today. You have here is you actually need to put all that code stuff, all that HTML and stuff into a file called something something.html.
Oh, so that just make a new one?
Oh, hold on. Yeah, you can do that. You can do a new file. Yep, you can give it a name. I just call it game001.html. 001.html. Yep. Yeah, just right here. Just click create file. Yep. Now you have an empty file, right? Just copy all that stuff. Copy the HTML/HTML, all that. And just paste it here. No, from HTML all the way down. From HTML all the way to the end. Right? Control X. Yeah, Control C is fine. Yeah. Yep. Right. So now you got this file. Yep. Save. Where you can save all. Yep. You're right. Because yeah, all that needs to be fixed.
And there's also a ton of capitalized things.
Yep. You have a lot more experience than others. Right?
Yeah, I
That
do.
proves that you have done some coding before. So stuff like this, right? Canvas, right? All those needs to be in the same case, right? If you have,
Yeah, because this here, it's gonna like split in half. And also, if you have this here, it's I take
Yeah.
Python coding classes also, so. I learned that one.
cool, that's good. So, Ethan, you gotta fix all your code. Try it, okay? Try to fix it when you get home.
All right.
You don't know what? Okay. I mean, when you guys get home, try to fix your code.
I think mine was already clear.
Yours is good, yeah. And the next thing is, have you created your repo, your GitHub stuff?
What?
Have you created your GitHub account?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, and then you can try to push your code into your GitHub repository. Right?
My GitHub account is called Albert is not very smart.
You don't have to be very smart to do these stuff. So we're done today. I hope everybody's learned something today.
I just write down this little.
I will put this little bit of code in my document.
Wait, you need just a little bit?
It's a little bit.
This is really tiny bit.
就我一大就有点大了。
It's like a song.
Yeah.
I learned something else today.
有一点对，我就冒犯这个。And so here you can see this is the Sudoku game. We're done. We're done.然后我们就是得把门关上，然后确实是比较热，这里面关上门以后，
放电不连太小，这个小了太远。
反正我也不知道。
那边是不是有可能？